Thank you for joining us again. This is our final DVD on healing. This is our third one, and as we've established previously, God does want to heal. That's His heart. That's His desires, and if He hasn't, we need to see why, and that's what we're going to look at a lot tonight. We are going to look at the blocks to our healing, and there are several of them. And again, they're designed to help us to examine ourselves and what might be standing in the way. So we're going to start entitled Blocks to Our Healing. Now, God's very nature is to heal His children because this is the desire of His heart. And if He hasn't, then there's a reason. Inside us is where we must start. We are the ones preventing our healing. We can block God's desires. God has put in place spiritual principles. There are things that God requires. Our disobedience will block God's healing. We can't have healing and hold on to our sin. When God does not heal us when we ask, we just keep asking again. But we need to start looking inward. What sin might I be holding on to? Because the number one reason that we're not healed is my unwillingness to forgive you. Our forgiveness is contingent upon something that we must first forgive others. One thing that God will not tolerate, and that's division between sisters and brothers. Another block is ignorance or lack of knowledge. I mean, people who are ignorant, they just don't know. The beginning of all wisdom begins with knowledge. As Christians, we must continue to study to grow. We must learn what God says about healing. Because God said, I am the Lord that healeth thee. Reread Deuteronomy 7:15 again. My obedience will bring healing to me. Another block to healing is our sin. It can be our father's and certainly our own. In Nehemiah 9, they confessed their sins. They confessed the sin that God had shown. They were breaking a generational curse that had been in their family for years. God could not bless their sin. Their disobedience had brought many tears. Another block is not having faith in God. Without faith, it's impossible to please Him. Jesus said, have faith and doubt not. Faith is where we must begin. Another block is the need to see a miracle or put out a fleece, and then I'll believe. Jesus said, blessed are those who believe who have not seen. Don't let yourself be deceived. Don't be chasing signs and wonders. Just put your focus on God's Word. Faith comes by hearing. The truth of His Word must be preferred. And then another block is expecting God to heal a certain way. When God heals you, it'll be His way. Don't tell God how to do His business. The way it's going to be done is not your say.